If you've still got your wild card, it might be time to pull the trigger. Welcome to the Gianni Buttice YouTube show. Hope you guys are well. Ahead of match day 5, many have got a wild card burning a hole in their pocket. But should you hold out till the semi-finals or go now? We're about to find out. This is my 15-man squad. Guys, before we see it, if you fancy hitting those buttons, please do like this show, but also support the channel by hitting that subscribe button. That would be amazing. The big question over many of these quarterfinal ties is going to be, do you go big on one team? Do you look at Spain, Germany and go, do you know what? I think Spain win that. Forget picking any German players. I'm going to go quadruple Spain. Or do you look at some quarterfinals, Switzerland and England, and go, I just can't call it. I'm going to pick a player or two players from each of those teams. That's what we've got to evaluate. It's time to kind of go high risk, high reward, I feel. So let's have a look, shall we, at my 15-man squad. As always, we're going to start with the goalkeepers. So with keepers especially, remember the quarterfinals are being played over 2 days, Friday and Saturday. There'll be 4 teams playing on each day. Make sure you're picking 2 keepers playing on different days. So in this example, I've gone for Spain's goalkeeper, Unai Simon, who plays on the Friday. And then on the Saturday, I've gone Verbruggen. Verbruggen, I feel sort of loyalty to. He's 4.5 million. He's kept a couple of clean sheets already for me this Euros. Clean sheet in match day 4, of course, against Romania. Clean sheet in the groups too. And Unai Simon, yes, he conceded to Georgia. Spain do not accumulate much expected goals against them. Very few chances when you play Spain because they have the ball so much. I think if Spain beat Germany, it very much could be to 0, which I think will surprise a few. So let's see. Unai Simon, 5.5 million. He is in. Let's not waste too much time talking about the goalkeepers. It does feel like it's a bit of a lottery this time round. Remember, we've got to think of sides of the draw now. Many going into the last 16 would have been stacked up on one side of the draw. But now, when you've got your Spain and your Germany players, your Portuguese and your French players, these teams all play each other. A little bit trickier, which means you've got to look at the other side of the draw. Teams like, England, Switzerland, Netherlands, you've got to consider these guys in, I think, more, give them more weighting. So let's have a look at the back line. We're going to see this as a little bit split in terms of side of the draw. It's going to be a bit of a 50-50. In fact, spoiler alert, there are 4 Spanish players. There's a German player, a couple of French and a Portuguese from the left-hand side. From the other side, we've got, triple up on the Netherlands and England, and there's some other representation there as well. So let's have a look at the back line. Lenormand at Spain is only 4.5 million. He's a bit of a ball recoveries monster. And that's kind of what we're looking like for some of these centre-backs. Like John Stones, yeah, he's not really been great for recoveries because Gahey has mopped up so many. Remember, there is no Gahey, so who comes into that England back line? Someone like Lewis Dunk could be good for them, but I'm just going to go Stones there. Offers a bit of goal threat. Akanji, ball recovery monster, and Loman. So 3 centre-backs in there, and then the full-backs of Theo Hernandez and João Cancelo to hopefully get me some upside. Let's just go through them one by one. I'm not picking any German defenders or Dutch defenders, for example, here. I'm going for a Spain win, hence quadruple Spain. So Lenormand is in as well as Unai Simon. Can they keep Germany out? Big question. Spain's first massive test, I guess, although, of course, they had a difficult group with Croatia and Italy. Akanji, let's see what they do. I think Switzerland, England could very easily be 0-0, couldn't it? I think there's a chance. 1-1, 0-0, extra time. Struggling to call that football match. Akanji's in there for, as I mentioned, the recoveries. Theo Hernandez still hasn't got attacking contributions. Been so close so many times. Now, France, Portugal, I put France as favourites. Just. But I am swerving this fixture. Pretty much. I've got 2 French, 1 Portugal. I'm not going big on this fixture. What the French have done really well so far this tournament is they've kept clean sheets. And I think Theo has a good chance, and they've looked good at the back of keeping another one. Stones we've spoken about. And João Cancelo, look, I do think France probably score. But again, where France have looked rusty is in attack. And João Cancelo, clean sheet threat is there. And he is a defender, unlike many others, that just offers upside. So a couple of upside defenders and then 3 centre-backs for the recoveries. Let's move on, though, to the midfielders, shall we? I think we have to. Guys, thank you, by the way. I know I just mentioned it, but in terms of how the algorithm works on YouTube, your likes, your comments, your subscribes really do matter. So please do consider hitting those buttons. Midfield. Hello, double England midfield. What are they doing in there? Foden and Bellingham. Yeah, I mean, look, budget's not an issue, and these guys are expensive. And I just watched that last England game, and yes, they were poor. Of course, they were against Slovakia. Switzerland's a bigger test, and I'm struggling to call it, but these two players have been playing very well. Usually, when one plays really well, the other one doesn't. I don't expect them both to produce points, but I feel like if England score, one of these guys will be involved. Now, Bellingham was big on match day 1 and 4. I thought Foden was England's best player match day 2 and 3. Also worth mentioning in match day 4, Foden is on all set pieces and he's good at them. With no Trent in the team as well. Foden's delivery, I thought, was exceptional. I thought that was the one strength to England against Slovakia, was really good set piece threat. And actually, with Gahey coming out, if someone like Dunk does come in, although it could be Konza, then Dunk offers a real aerial presence similar to that of Harry Maguire. Not quite Harry Maguire's 50p head, but you know. Bellingham, because he's there and he's a match winner. I'm not backing England with regards to captaincy, and we'll talk about captaincy later. Xavi Simons, forget the fact I've got the armband on him, by the way, really has caught my eye, both pre-tournament and during. If you've watched these videos, you will know pre-tournament I was really hot on him. I took him out and I've not actually had him in my team yet. Got an assist in match day 4 for Holland against Romania. He looks sharp. I really like Xavi Simons. He's 21-year-old. He's becoming a main man in this Holland team. The reason I took him out match day 1 was just fear of rotation. Well, now he's a regular starter. He looks nailed in the 11. And Xavi Simons really, I think, has got a good chance of goal involvements. Now, I am backing the Dutch in their quarterfinal. And again, this is a little bit eggs in baskets at times. I've split the market. I've gone 2 French players, 1 Portuguese. With the Netherlands, I'm just going triple Netherlands. I'm backing that. I think they've really impressed me as the tournament has gone on. Against Romania, I thought their attack looked really good as well. The likes of Gakpo, Marling, I think, came off the bench. Up front, we've got Memphis Depay starting as the number 9. He's not seen the goals Gakpo has. And then Xavi Simons and the likes of Rangers behind him. Dumfries down the right-hand side always looks dangerous. So I like the Dutch, is the long and short of it. But then let's talk about a couple of flair players who have been in my team a lot. And that is Musiala and Nico Williams. Well, they play each other, which doesn't help. And the fixture I guess I'm most invested in, the fixture I've got 5 of my 15 in, is Spain and Germany. And that's because I think it could have goals. It could have goals. I look at France-Portugal and go, that could be a 0-0. I look at England-Switzerland and think that could be a 0-0 or 1-0 or a 1-1, like low-scoring games. Now, sure, I expect Spain to score a couple of goals. They could win 3-0. And of course, I'm backing double Spain defense, but I'm also backing double Spain attack. Germany, if they do score and they wipe out my Spanish clean sheets, I'm kind of hedging in a way by just having Musiala in there, because I do think he's the most dangerous of the German attacks. Of course, Gundogan and Kai Havertz and Sane, if he's starting, are all dangerous. But if I'm picking one, it's been Musiala. We've seen Sane and Wirtz swapping places. Havertz has caught the eye. Of course he has. But even Gundogan saw an early sub in match day 4 at 60 minutes. Musiala doesn't get hooked at 60. He often gets hooked at 75. He hasn't been a 60-minute sub like Gundo, like Wirtz has been. And I think Havertz too. So Musiala, he's in the team. Xavi Simons we mentioned. But what about Nico Williams? We have to speak about Spain because this is the best attack we have seen in the Euros, and make no doubt about that. So if you're wildcarding and you don't have double Spanish attack, I would reconsider, and that's purely based on prices as well, and fixture and form. Of course, Fabian Ruiz was exceptional in match day 4. Of course, Rodri's a good shout. But I think Nico Williams is the best of the midfield picks. Pedri too, of course, is an option. So Nico Williams is in for me. 10 points last time out for Nico Williams. Goal and assist, close to player of the match as well. Again, match day 2 against Italy, I thought he was just on another planet. This guy is levels down that left-hand side for Spain. Now, who plays on the right-hand side for Spain? Well, he is listed as a forward, unfortunately. So for me, Nico Williams, the best midfielder, but there's also a Spanish striker playing on the right-hand side that I think you also want in your teams, and he's 6.5 million. So shall we get to it and have a look at that front line? And look, the big news here is there's no Ronaldo, there's no Kane. There doesn't need to be, because I think in Yamal, we've got the best young player of the tournament, without doubt. He's 16 years old. Spain are the best attack of the tournament. Now, sure, the opponent isn't quite there because Germany are also good. If Spain were playing probably any of the teams on the other side of the draw, right? You'd back him really big. But he's not. He's playing Germany, who are right at the back. But it is worth noting Germany have been conceding goals. We're not seeing German clean sheets. They're also conceding chances. And I thought Denmark were really unlucky with that VAR call. And also really unlucky with the offside as well. So look, for me, Yamal is going to get opportunity against Germany. So he is in alongside Nico Williams. And when we're talking captaincy, I'm going to be looking back at Spain. We'll talk about that in a second. Gakpo's the other forward. If we're looking at form players, 3 goals, yeah, like he's playing on the left of a front 3. It's not Memphis getting the goals we thought it might be. It's not Marlon. It's or Bergwijn, who I think started in match day 4. Marlon came off the bench. It's Cody Gakpo, who hasn't looked this good in a Liverpool shirt, but when he plays for Holland, he steps up. Now, I think he'll look dangerous again in match day 5. I'm back in Holland to win. The triple up is on there with Xavi Simons, Gakpo, and of course Verbruggen in goal. So double Dutch attack. Cody Gakpo definitely front of mind with his 3 goals, chasing the golden boot. Who would have thought that? And look, if the Dutch win, it's a semi-final against England or the Netherlands, England or Switzerland. And again, I think we look at that semi and go, yeah, arguably the Dutch will be favourites if they get to the semis, of course. Yamal, Gakpo, and then I have gone for one of the old guard. And when I say old guard, I'm talking about players that were so highly owned, like Ronaldo and Kane. We're dropping them, right? Ownership is falling. Well, from Mbappe, ownership's still going to be high. He started the game as the game's most expensive player. He hasn't been scoring the goals. We've seen a pen. He has still been catching the eye. He's absolutely still playing well. France just aren't functioning for him as an attack. If him and Griezmann can start clicking, if he can find a strike partner in Mawani or Thuram, and these guys are sharing minutes, then we're going to see a difference in Mbappe's output. At the moment, we're not seeing it because France look disjointed. They look solid at the back, which is why the French investment in the back line might be a smart move, and hence I've gone Theo Hernandez. But I've also gone Cancelo because Portugal could even keep France out too. This could be a lower scoring game than perhaps we would have expected 3-4 weeks ago. If someone told me you're going to get a quarterfinal of Portugal and France, I probably would have said, oh, that's got goals. But having seen these teams play in recent weeks, well, they're actually struggling to score goals, France especially. So the quarterfinal with the high ceiling is probably, I think, chasing the Dutch or the Spanish, maybe. Hence, I've gone big on those attacks. So Mbappe is still in there. There is money left over in this draft. But it's not all about money. And when we look at the top point scorers of this game so far, it's really not about money. And maybe that's why I've gone Bellingham and Foden, just because I'm like, oh, I can. Is double England midfield a little bit overcommitted? Yeah, like I could look at the other side, right-hand side of the draw and go, oh, maybe level it up a bit when I'm looking at that Netherlands game. Could maybe swap one of those players out to face the Netherlands, for example, Foden or Bellingham. So look, that's where we're at. In terms of captaincy, remember, Spain, Germany, France, Portugal play on the first day. So when we're looking at all these players, you go, oh, am I going to captain Mbappe? Am I going to captain a Portugal player, Ronaldo? Or do I look at Spain, Germany? Now, for me, no doubt about it, I'm captaining a Spanish player. And that player will be Yamal. Really will be, like, over Nico Williams, I think. Both these guys are good options. And then I look at day 2. I can't call England Switzerland. I probably fancy England just. Hence, I've got more England players, 3-1. But it could be a really tight, low-scoring affair. Captaincy for me, I'm just going all in on Holland. So I'm going to go captaincy with Gakpo. Just like I've gone all in on Spain, 4 Spanish players, captain Spanish player. Same all in on the Netherlands. Tripled the Netherlands, captain a Netherlands player. So look, that's where we're at with my team. Let me know what you're looking to do with yours. Now, what will I actually do with my team? This is my wildcard draft. If I wildcard, yeah, sure, this is going to be my team. But will I wildcard? And that's the $1 million question. We get 3 free transfers. Or was it 4? Can't remember. Need to double check that. We get enough free transfers that maybe I don't need to hit those buttons just yet. My team is quite stacked on the left-hand side of the draw. With these teams playing each other, Spain, Germany, France, Portugal playing each other, I'm definitely going to need a wild card out the semi because I'm going to have loads of players knocked out. I don't think I need to use it just yet, though, but we'll see. If we get another injury or more team news, that could change. And this wildcard team is something I really like. And if I do hit that button, it will be this team in action. And look, even if I don't wildcard, my transfers in, I'm looking at the likes of Gakpo. I'm looking at the likes of Yamal. I'm looking at Xavi Simons. Maybe a guy that doesn't even get mentioned here, Denzel Dumfries at the back as well. Guys, thank you as always for watching. Please, please, please do subscribe on your way out if you're new around here. Drop a comment and I will see you very soon for my team selection video in just a day or two. Catch you later. Bye-bye.